me the truth and why she'd been lying and refused to talk about it when I asked. Her answer was, because you wouldn't have gotten rid of them otherwise, and explained that when she saw I wasn't willing to abandon them for her, she took offense and made it a goal to have me pick her over them. Sickening. Don't know why she actually admitted to it all. The woman with us asked me how I felt about all of it, and I just told the truth. I told her it was a nice run, but I'm probably going to want a divorce. I was asked why, and I told them. I've seen a new hateful, malicious side of her that I want nothing to do with. She was so set on getting rid of the cats over a fan fiction being ruined that she manipulated her husband. My wife started shouting at me that I betrayed her and that I'm a scum for choosing animals over her. At least cats don't give ultimatums like she gave. It sucks that she's been Baker acted and all, I guess, but it's for the best right now. She'll have time to process it in a safe environment and hopefully come to terms with it. Bad husband, I know. I'm almost sure I'm going for divorce. I'm very worried about having her in the same house as my cats. I want my cats safe and I don't want to worry about them being harmed or disappearing. Screw that. I guess I'll do what almost all of you suggested. Keep the cats, daughter being mean to him. He told me to leave because Levi won't come home until I promise not to do anything about it and put it in writing. That's when I told him that Levi should stay there with him then. He's not to come back until he gets a proper punishment. His dad argued it's his mom's house too and called my wife. She asked me to let it go and we find another resolution, but I don't think it's fair to Susan to have her books ruined and Levi getting away with it. They're asking me to let it go, but this will only encourage Levi to do worse if I don't deal with it now. It's now been 2 weeks and my in-laws say that I was out of line for banning Levi from coming home and are telling me to take a step back, but I refused. I've arranged for family therapy, but Levi's dad refused to let him go. In the past, his dad has caused issues when I used to take Levi's electronics as a punishment. Then I got talked out of punishing him every time he did something unacceptable, whether it was to me or his sisters. Am I wrong for refusing to let him come home without punishment? Me and my sister are not as close as we used to be due to some messed up stuff that happened years ago. I had my son Jesse when I was
to kiss him. His sister immediately told my friend to change the dare, and so she did. To be clear, her brother did not say anything when he heard the dare and just laughed. So he definitely looked like he was okay with it, right? Well, wrong. Because after I kissed him, he told me, WTF am I doing? And looked like he was really grossed out by it. Honestly, I was offended and asked why he was so grossed out by me kissing him. I am actually a pretty okay looking girl, and even if I wasn't, there was no reason for him to act like this. He ended up leaving the game, and my friend told me that what I did was wrong on so many levels, and to get out of her house. My other classmates didn't say anything, so I think they were on my side, but didn't want to participate in this argument. I will ask them when they get back home. Anyways, I did end up leaving.
Am I the asshole for fake sleeping all night to see if my wife is lying? The past couple of months, my wife has been complaining about our cats. She's been claiming that the cats wake her up constantly and that she's frustrated every night that she has to get up and open the door for the cats. Or the cats keep making noises, or the cats keep jumping on her. It got me to the point where she started saying she wants me to get rid of them. I've told her I've never...
It wasn't until I was 20 that I found out the family trips that I didn't go on were paid for with money that I was getting from my dad passing away. I'm sure I got some of the money and food and clothes and whatever I needed, but it's got me pretty fucked up because my brother and sister didn't have any memory of it, and when I talk about it, they always told my parents that they were raised right and I opted out of vacations. They also thought the guest room was my room.
My future mother-in-law is the absolute worst person I've ever met in my life. I'm 30 years old and my boyfriend is 31 and we've been together for 8 months. He's the sweetest and most caring man I've ever met in my life, but the biggest surprise is when I met his mother. I'm a natural redhead, so when we sat down for dinner, she asked me if my parents had the same color hair.
And then she proceeds to ask me, does the carpet match the drapes? I looked over to my boyfriend, who seemed equally as shocked, but he didn't say anything. And when I didn't respond back, she said, don't worry, I'll ask my son about it later. She then went on to attack my appearance and said my hair was too curly and I really needed to learn how to run a brush through my hair and think about my appearance more when I'm out with her son. And when I lost my appetite, she told me it was a good thing that I'm watching what I eat because it would be a shame if I got any bigger.
This has really been bugging me. If I say no, it would probably break her heart, but I just don't know if I can handle working with my rapist. Am I wrong for not wanting to work with him during her wedding? Part 2, my best friend wants me to work with my rapist on her wedding. I finally replied to Tina with, I've had time to think about it and I just can't be your maid of honor anymore. It's so hurtful that you're telling me to pack up my trauma for who knows how long until your wedding day. I just can't do it. I don't think I'll come at all knowing that he's going to be there. I'm sorry. An hour later, I get a call from Josh. He asked me what's going on with me and Tina and that she was extremely upset. A part of me snapped and I said, I don't know, what's going on with you making someone who raped me your best man? He was confused and I repeated myself. He was silent for a few seconds and then asked if he could come over. I was a little wary of the idea, but I said sure. He comes to my apartment 40 minutes later without Tina. Tina had
or heard any of this, but she claims I sleep through it all. She kept telling me that she was getting less and less sleep and kept acting aggressive, blaming lack of sleep from the cats and that if I didn't get rid of them, she'd leave me. I legitimately started considering giving the cats to my sister until I noticed something. One morning, she claimed she had gotten up multiple times throughout the night to help the cats. She listed a bunch of times. I thought it was weird because I had been up until 4 a.m. and she claimed that she got up at 1 a.m. to open the door for them and a few times around 3 a.m. because they were meowing and jumping on her. I was in the bedroom the entire time while she slept, and I know none of this happened. Things weren't adding up, so I decided to run a test. I waited until she said she was going to bed, then I let the cats out of our bedroom. I lowered my phone brightness and faked going to sleep. I just laid there in my bed for the entire night bored, but I definitely did not fall asleep. I made sure to make timestamps every 30 minutes on my phone through Discord just to be sure. I marked down every noise my cats made. One cat had jumped down from something and made a little noise around 3:18 a.m. and one ate food relatively quietly by the bedroom door at 4:57 a.m. Other than that, nothing happened. Sure enough,
Mouth breathing at the screen. I told him I had to drive him home, and Tom responded that he'd walk. It's like 2 miles. Then I told him that he had to go home, and the kid legitimately looked me in the eyes and said, "No, I don't think I will." He actually tried to pull off the Captain America line. I then called his mother, made her cancel to look after her sister, but also made Reese skip her plans when Laura has them, and they conflict. In the last year and a half, Reese has just decided to say, fuck everyone. She's definitely weighed down by it all. We talk about it because she said I'm the only one who acknowledges it, but I have definitely noticed. We were all gathered for a family dinner Sunday. It was my grandparents' birthday this week, so the family decided to celebrate Sunday, and Reese was in a really bad mood. Aunt Mara told her she was bringing down the mood, and Reese got up and left the table. Aunt Mara said she didn't know what was up with her, but she's always acting like the whole world is out to get her. I mentioned that maybe if she didn't show such blatant favoritism, Reese would be happier. My aunt and parents were pissed.